What's going on YouTube? Welcome to Chris Wrestling Views. So, of course, Raw just went off about over an hour ago. It's 11:15 Eastern time here, PM. Of course, Naomi, she came out there, you guys, and she was talking about, well, telling the crowd, but having fun with the crowd at the same time. She was like, well, when I was glowing, she was like, y'all wasn't feeling me. She was like, but I know you, she's like, I bet y'all feel me now, though. And then, of course, she had like some bitch word in there and some other stuff like that, too. And Naomi is like very funny, and I love this character. And WWE better not ever get rid of this character that she's having right here. Of course, she would get interrupted by Rhea Ripley and also Io Sky because she interrupted and cashed in on their match where they were like beating the shit out of each other. And of course, so you guys, with that being said, they both wanted that women's world title. They wanted a match. And of course, we already know who came out there that said, ladies, 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 we're going to do it like this way. So Adam Pearce made it official for SummerSlam because he seen what Io and Rhea did, and he wanted to add Naomi to be the third person in his match to see how they all can go out. So Naomi versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship, and I feel like they're going to tear the house down with this match. And anything goes in this match, so we're definitely going to see what's going to happen here. So yeah, SummerSlam is 19 days away, you guys. Tomorrow after today will be 18. So it is coming here in a couple. I think it's like 2 weeks or 3. No, 2. So of course, Paul Heyman was backstage trying to get an update on Seth Rollins, but Paul Heyman was like, hey, Seth Rollins has until June of next year to actually to actually cash in this thing. So it looks like he's going to be out for a lengthy amount of time, maybe the rest of this year, of course, and probably miss Royal Rumble too. So, of course, you see LA Knight was pretty much saying he wants to injure Seth Rollins to come back so he can injure him. We did get a 2 out of 3 falls match where it was Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. Winner faces Becky Lynch at SummerSlam for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. They did have an incredible match, you guys. It was definitely a 5-star match. Of course, Bayley picked up the first victory. Lyra picked up the second victory. Bayley was so livid, you guys. She even clocked the back of Lyra Valkyria with her elbow on her back. And I was like, God dang, this was definitely crazy, you guys, how they actually perfected this. And I was like, man. And of course, you see Bayley went in for one of Mercedes Moné. Y'all know her, Sasha Banks. Went for one of her, face locks or whatever. And I was like, oh, wow. And then she even did the kickback thing, like how she used to do it. But, of course, when Bayley rolled back, that's when Lyra Valkyria picked her up and hit her with the, I think they call it a Nightwing. Kenny Omega calls the one angel, but yeah. Anyways, you guys, of course, so Lyra Valkyria would pick up the victory over Bayley, and Bayley was mad as she would, looked on to see Lyra Valkyria stand up on the rope. And of course, you guys, Becky Lynch's song did hit, you guys, after this. And of course, you can tell Lyra was happy once again. She wasn't feeling down or anything, but it's definitely not over between Becky and Lyra at all. Somebody's going to heal soon. Of course, you guys, Becky Lynch, like I said, she would come out, and her sign that someone was holding up last night at Women's Evolution had Becky Hogan on there. So she came out and pretty much went along with having the, the yellow and, the red and yellow kind of thing. Of course, if you never noticed, her Titantron screen has always been red and yellow. So y'all even made her bring out the clothes of calling her Becky Hogan. So I was like, wow. But anyways, you guys, we did get a spot in the Judgment Day where Finn Balor was wanting to feel how it is to drip all in gold. And, of course, he had the women's tag titles, his tag titles. He had Dawn Intercontinental Championship as well. And so they were pretty much talking back there. And Finn Balor, was still picking that down, wanted him to be in the corner of Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez in their tag match. But they would be victorious by the help of Dirty Dom, not once, but twice. He got up on the rope the first time, you guys, on the side near the announce table, as you can see there. And then he ended up going on the other side, but he would actually take a bump, you guys, but because Oscar ended up hit him with the with the back of her hand, and this pretty much goes to where he ended up dropping down and hitting the floor. So with that being said, you guys, it's gonna be very interesting to see where does Dominic stand. If he's gonna lose the Intercontinental title or however. Because he's going to have a match with AJ Styles, but we'll get to that later on the show. Of course, actually, here it is right here. Adam Pearce, as you can see, Judgment Day was leaving. Adam Pearce stopped Dominic, was like, he has a doctor's note that he pulled out his pocket, still from the one he'd been playing with for the past 2-3 weeks now. And of course, you can see AJ Styles over there praying, like, please don't let his injury, affect him from facing me. He was like, please let it happen. And then that's where Dominic pulled out, it was showing it up like, I got a doctor's note, or he was like doctor's orders. And I was like, okay, wow. Karrion Kross cut a intense promo package, you guys, over, for Sami Zayn. And WWE didn't mention that Sami Zayn was like legitimately injured. I guess it was just to write him off TV for a little bit to sell the injury. Of course, Nikki Bella, she would be victorious over Chelsea Green tonight on Raw, where they had a one-on-one match. Now, of course, you guys, that's where their Secret Harvest ends up, attacking her and everything. And, of course, we would get La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer, to come out there and actually help. So I wonder, because they had a backstage segment, they were talking, and, Chelsea Green was just talking down and saying, that she should be the one going to Paris and not Stephanie Vaquer, and so on and so forth. You get just what I'm saying. But Stephanie Vaquer did come out there and help Nikki Bella. So could we see a tag team match at at SummerSlam with Nikki Bella and and Stephanie Vaquer? But of course, you guys, they had another backstage segment where we had the New Day, and looks like the new person of the New Day would be they were talking about like some toupee hair or whatever that Adam Pearce need for his bald head, but they would get like a some kind of tag team match thing that's coming up next week on Raw. Of course, we see what's going to happen there with Rusev and Sheamus. They're going to have a match, another rematch. Of course, Braun Breaker was, face to face with Gunther, because of course they had a gauntlet match tonight to see who's going to be the winner, who's going to face Gunther at SummerSlam, you guys, for the World Heavyweight Championship. And of course, they end up having Paul Heyman to drop Undertaker name, Roman Reigns name, and so on and so forth. Braun Breaker, this man was legitimately drinking Great Value water, which is the brand of Walmart. He was out there drinking water. Like, I was like, what in the world? Where did they get water from? I was like, I ain't never seen a wrestler like get in the ring and like drink water. And he actually speared Penta. He speared LA Knight. He's been Jey Uso, because Bronson Reed came out there and pulled Jey Uso's arm. Jey Uso did, get like the rewind of his song or whatever. And a lot of people thought Jey Uso was coming through the crowd, but he didn't come through the crowd. He actually came, from behind, through the curtain, and he got in there. But like I said, he ended up falling fate and got speared by Bomb. Of course, that's where you see Bronson Reed ends up pulling the leg of Jey Uso, causing him to actually lose his match. This done happen like multiple times, against Jey. And I was like, oh, shoot. And then Jey got speared. Like I said, he lost, you guys. I was like, oh, man. I was like, my pick, of this match was CM Punk. So it ended up coming down to CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. And with that match right there, CM Punk would be victorious, you guys. And I was like, yes. And then, of course, Bronson Reed was taken down off the apron. I believe it was by CM Punk before the match ended. And then that's where you see Bronson Reed come up in there as CM Punk has Braun Breaker in the Anaconda Vice. It wasn't no kind of disqualification at all, you guys. And I was like, okay, good. Because this is where Jey Uso ended up coming back out to try to help CM Punk. He's holding his stomach and everything. And this is where we got trolled. And And so where we got trolled at was CM Punk was up there looking at Gunther and was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna get you at SummerSlam and so on and so forth, you guys. And Gunther was actually sitting at the very top in like a little VIP section or whatever for wrestlers. And of course, that's where you see Braun Breaker ends up spearing CM Punk. And of course, Bronson Reed was getting ready to do a tsunami, but the return of Roman Reigns, you guys, was the troll, which they threw Jay out there first. And then, of course, that's where we end up getting Roman return. As you can see, the persona of the rumors were true that he is OTC1. What does that mean? The only tribal chief, the only one, or something like that. But Roman Reigns would come back, take out Bronson Reed, take out Braun Breaker as well. I would love to see a WrestleMania match between Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns, but I think we're going to get a tag match probably at SummerSlam with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. So I think that's what's going to happen there, you guys. Roman did help Jay up, but he didn't help CM Punk up. He was like, man, I came out here for my family. As you could like see what he was actually like saying. But yeah, you guys, Raw tonight, you guys, was definitely, in my opinion, was a 9.5 out of 10. I was going to give it an 8, but Roman returned, and that was exciting. Like, comment, subscribe to Chris Wrestling Reviews here on YouTube.com. Make sure you follow me on TikTok at Chris, KHRIS944. Till next time, you guys, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.